This is Pitch Please, the show where people who play games pitch ideas to people who make them. This week...
I do still feel terrible about the Tangela though.
I just killed a man once, but nothing major. For a dojo.
Welcome to Pitch Please. My name's Alex. I'm joined by developer Chris from Foggybox.
Hello.
Developer James from Catastrophic Overload.
Hello there.
Thomas the Ideas Engine.
Hello.
Hello. Wow, look at that.
Hi.
How you doing?
That was clean, professional,
thank you.
smooth, fresh.
What's going on this week,
shaved,
Tom?
dry. I don't know.
Manscaped.
What's going on? What's going on today with Manscaped? Not sponsored. Today, I got an idea. I got a big boy idea.
Hold the
I'm back,
phone.
baby.
Shut
Well, I
the
say
front
I'm
door.
back. Now, this was an idea that was going through my mind in my groggy waking hours. It takes me hours to wake up in the morning. And when I was thinking of it, I was like, this game is incredible. And within 5 minutes, it was gone. There was fractions. Now, I'm going to be honest, when I've written it down again in this notepad document, there's something
Curse
missing
of the artist.
from the incredible dream I had this morning.
Yeah.
I'm hoping that that's the point of the podcast, right? I'm going to read this to you. There's pieces missing, and like a beautiful jigsaw, you're going to deliver what was unfortunately lost, right?
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, well,
Guys?
like they say, the best pitches are always the ones where you apologize first.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's how I start all of mine. With I'm sincerely sorry for what you're about to see.
Yeah, I've jumped into the elevator.
Give me money, please.
I am so sorry for what's about to happen. So I haven't actually got a title here. You'll be happy to know, Chris. But what I've got written here is your aim is to collect every card from a presumably fake card game. It's not a deck builder, although I suppose it is a deck builder in that you're trying to collect every card in a collection, like, for example, but not necessarily a Pokemon. So you start with an old deck you found in your shed that are questionable quality, one of which happens to be a rare card that sells for a decent amount, fueling the fire to start collecting them all. Every card has multiple variations, increasing costs in their rarity and quality. Maybe you'll find a legendary Morpzorp, but it's terrible quality and graded low, so it's worth much less sue. Apparently I put a U at the end of less there. Much less sue. You can attend events to trade for better cards. You can watch the prices rise and fall as trends appear or cards get re-released. Possibly even making it a fully functional card game that you can use to gather more rarer cards. For example, every trader/fighter plays with their own unique house rules to spice things up. You can follow the tales of ultra rare cards to determine the authenticity, someone flaunting the ultimate version of a level 1 flash nip, but it's actually low-grade garbage.
What's a flash nip?
It's level 1, it's garbage, it's just a flash nip. Doesn't do much. And you've also got, I think you'll like this bit, Alex, a certain chain of cards only gained through story tell of your younger days buying card packs and watching the show and the friends you made and lost along the way, including Gary, your rival, who has somehow got his hands on the most legendary card of all, Mew3. Considered a myth, but unbelievably realistic, you must discover the truth behind the Mew3. Spoiler, it's actually a fake.
Oh, Gary, you bastard.
And then at the bottom, I've put something in there which I'll add later and will immediately get dismissed. But what?
I like the idea of because I used to collect obviously Pokemon cards as a younger man,
a strapping young lad,
and it's always nice. It's like with when I used to pretend that I used to like football for some reason. Used to getting the football stickers and the little Panini little catalogs.
Yeah.
And when you get a
time of your life.
When you get a complete set, you're like, I've done it and I've wasted a lot of money, and then I'm going to put this in a drawer and never touch it again. My most favorite one was the Jackie Chan Adventures Collectors one with the magazine. You used to get little talismans and everything. Oh, it was fantastic.
What? Okay.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
It was great. I don't know if I understand. Is there a gameplay loop? Is it point and click? Is
this our job? Is this what we're finding out?
Well, I know, but what's in Tom's head? What's
that's
the
the thing.
Tom's head canon of this game?
That's the thing. I've got no idea. I don't remember.
How? Oh, you just don't remember. So it's not
I do not remember my dreams.
Right, okay.
But just fractions of them. Like maybe I'll look at something in like 10 minutes and I'll be like, oh, there it is. It's back. But until then, I think I just need you to say some like trigger words that will like
activate him.
I've got
like
a weird,
fire truck,
like
17.
I can't help but think that there's like a load of mini games in this. So when people get open their Pokemon cards or whatever, and they're like, I need to put it in the plastic sleeve immediately to get like a 10 grade. So you've got to have like the steady, slowly put the card into the plastic sleeve without
sleeving mini game.
Yeah, sleeving minigame, an unboxing minigame. And then I'm imagining something like The Room, if you ever played that puzzle game where you've got the thing in the middle of the room.
Yeah.
So you've got this box and you're like, okay, I've got to find the pool. It's a very like lame minigame, but you've got to find the pool tab and how to open the box without damaging it too much.
Some kind of quality control, perhaps. You check the cards to say, like, if it's a second-hand one, you have to test.
Yeah, like early in the game, you've just got your grubby fingies and you just tear the box open, you pull the card out,
Cheetos,
and immediately...
dust.
Yeah, and to ensure that the card packs that you open in future are better, you have to invest in gloves and
That's about it.
tiny little tongs so you can slowly pull the card out carefully. Containers, sleeves, to make the quality that much better for infinite resale. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know.
The first thing that this brought to mind when you start talking about it was
Pokemon?
a small
Cardboard
game
Kings.
called Cardboard Kings, which came out quite recently, but was in Tiny Teams last year.
I did think of this when
the
I was
reverse.
writing this. It's kind of that sort of thing, right?
Yeah, that was Cardboard Kings was a lot more like you basically just own a card shop, a trading card shop, and it's all based around one game, but you never play the game. You don't understand what the rules of the game are. It's just people coming in being like, "Hey, I've got this super rare flash nip. Can I trade
Flash
it
Nip
for
is
your?"
never rare. Flash Nip,
never
you'd only
rare.
get high value out of it because it's high graded.
Oh
it's
shit!
clean.
Okay, what's a rare
Otherwise-
card?
Well, Mew3 is
Mew3.
obviously the
All right,
legendary.
I've got a
There was
Mew-
also a Morpsorp.
Right, I've got a Morpsorp. I'm bringing in a blue Morpsorp. Yeah,
What,
I'm not
blue Morpsorp?
a
Are you
blue
kidding me? They
Morpsorp,
only
a blue
released 10
Morpsorp.
of those.
I know, and I've got and mine. Right, mine is a misprint as well. Yeah, I've got
You're
this.
joking.
He's got a Mopzop.
I'm not joking. I've got a mop.
They
a
made
Mopzop.
10 and one of them was a misprint.
One of them
It
was
was
a
a
misprint.
really unreliable printing process.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I want to trade this for, but I don't really know anything about cards. Like, I feel like I just got this from my son. He moved out. I'm just
no, it's
clearing his room.
worthless. It's worthless.
I thought
Give
I'd
to
bring
me.
it in here.
Yeah.
Is it? Is
I'll
it
throw it in the
worthless?
trash for you.
Oh, okay. Oh, please, yeah, take it. You can look after it.
Yeah, get out of here.
Can I make a suggestion?
Yeah,
Just it's related to this. That
yeah.
I think like a speech skill is something that you should level up. But we bring back the Oblivion speech mechanic.
Oh.
You know?
Oh, yeah.
Wait, how does
Remember
that work again?
horrible-
Remind me.
I don't know. There was a wheel.
yeah.
You had. I think you had to set like it was like angry, happy. But as you moved the wheel around, the person's face on the other
Oh,
side
the
would like
faces.
change based on
Yeah.
their reaction. And there it like a bar filled up on each segment, and then
I don't know why they removed it.
nightmarish.
I think
from
you had to
Skyrim.
use each segment, and then
It was never
I don't
really
think anyone
explained.
fully grasps that minigame. But I feel
No.
like what a time to bring it back. How to con people out of their cards.
Is it like facial bop it?
That's we're gonna trademark that, and that is gonna be our dialogue system. And there'll be a GDC talk in a few years about the Bop It UI talking
Emotional
system.
bop it.
Emotional Bop It.
So in Cardboard Kings, you get someone like that, the mother of someone who's moved out, and they bring in a card that is super expensive or whatever, and you tell them it's worthless, and get it for them from like for a steal. But then someone else will come in,
Mhm.
they'll see that you've done that, and that's going to affect your relationships with other people, basically. So it has this kind of like these kind of characters that you interact with that pepper over it and color the loose bits of plot around the game. But overall, it's generally just a management game. You're just running a shop and you're buying high and selling low.
I'm presuming that the main character is they are a collector. You're not like a kid, or maybe we have a whole you grow up phase within the game. I don't know, but I'm imagining quite a quaint, like you go to like car boots and you have you're almost third person. You look around and like explore different tables, rummage through things to see if you can find cards. And because really it's all about that experience that you seem to be describing is like when people open things on stream and they're opening these decks of cards and like, what have I got? What am I going to find? And you want one of those moments of like, oh my God, there's a Yimma Yammer in here. That's amazing. I've been looking for that card for forever. And so it almost feels like we need to, in order to have those moments, you need to have these locations where you can go. Maybe you can earn enough money to go and buy more packs and, open those. And you've got to have that process of continuously opening cards and discovering and being able to get more cards. It feels like.
Yeah.
That sounds cool.
I think there definitely should be like the main screen. Well, not one of the main screens, but if you choose to leave your house, there's like an overworld map, right? And then it's like, oh, the car boot sale only on Sundays between something and something time. And you're like, okay, so I make sure that on Sunday I can do that. But maybe there's a random event that pops up and, you've missed that car boot sale.
There's a convention next
convention.
month.
Yeah. And then like, oh, I'm going to go to the thing today to shop and try and, see if I can go to the collector because he drops new cards on Thursdays. And you're like, okay, I'm going to go there. But then,
person. It definitely doesn't need to be that. It can just be completely like, management type.
What were you thinking of when?
I imagined pixel art.
Oh, really? Okay.
Well, that's the thing. There is a part of me that, and it's obviously hard to not think of Pokemon when you say trading card game. There is a part of me that almost thinks it should just be Pokemon, but the things you're capturing are cards. And it's that same sort of very zoomed out style with you as a small person on a screen walking around a town and whatever else and just interacting with stuff. And I guess it's not really trainer battles as much as...
I was going to say, how do you get the cards from people?
The trainer battles, your moves are dialogue.
Okay.
You could play the game and you could bet cards, right? So you could put some of yours up. They could put one of theirs up. And obviously the higher your skill of, I don't know, like bluff or tormenting people, you could be like, no, that's definitely worth the same as that. So if you lose or if I win, the value of that is the same. Maybe that's the mini game before, that's like the initial setup.
Can you rob people? Can you just like fully
steal
their cards?
I don't know if crime should be in it.
That was how I got my first ever Tangela.
You stole it?
I stole a Tangela off of a kid in front of me, and we were in assembly and we sat cross-legged, and they had their Pokemon cards in their pocket in front of them. They were slipping out quite a lot. I don't feel good about this, and I'm not sure I should be sharing this story.
Tom,
but
I'm going to ring the police.
What an origin story.
I snuck a Tangela out of their pocket. Another Pokemon card story I've got is I made some very obvious fakes Pokemon cards. Like I printed off the image of the card of a Sudowoodo and just stuck it on the top of a trainer card. and for some reason, there was this kid at the school who was like, I need to have that. I have to have this obvious fake card. And he gave me a Blastoise, a shiny Blastoise.
I mean, that's insane. Because Blastoise is the best Pokemon.
I got a shiny Blastoise from my obvious fake Sudowoodo.
No, Blastoise, Alex.
I didn't go into this trade saying like, this is a real card.
He knew that it was fake.
Of course, it was stuck on with like blue tack.
You didn't even use a Pritt stick.
No,
an actual adhesive.
Maybe I did, but either way, it was poorly cut out A4 paper on a printer that wasn't very good. So it had like lines across it and everything. But I got a Blastoise for it. So I mean, who's the winner here? They got a fake
if
Pokemon
we're
card.
confessing to crimes, my friend once found out that
podcast is now.
No, my friend.
No, it genuinely was my. I won't name him. They used to Pokemon DVDs used to come out, and sometimes you get like a booster pack inside, and then the local Asda they didn't realize that they just sort of left them in the DVD boxes on the shelf, and he once stole one and gave me a pack and was like, "I've just stolen these." And I was like,
we just opened up the DVD.
I've just stolen this. Run.
Like the DVD, they kept the DVD in the little plastic sleeves in the drawers, and they left the booster packs in there. And then he came out and was like, do you want this? I've just stolen it. And I was like, yeah.
What did you get out of it?
I don't remember, but it was enough to stop the guilt of me trying, like maybe taking it back.
Oh, okay. So it was too good to give away.
It was free Pokemon cards, Tom. Doesn't matter.
True, yeah.
You could give me the fucking,
Wow.
a whole pack of water energies, and I would still kept it.
Incredible.
Any crimes? Anyone crimes?
2 people committing to crimes within 2 minutes.
Well, these
on
are
this podcast.
Pokemon related.
Pokemon
They are
related
Pokemon
crimes.
related.
Yeah.
crimes,
I do still feel terrible about the Tangela though.
I just killed him once,
he had a-
but nothing major.
For a Doduo.
That was worth it. Then.
Someone stole my Tangler and I got really mad. I don't know what happened.
You could have killed the first person you saw.
All right.
Luckily, I was right behind you.
Getting
Anyway.
back on mechanics track. So the thing I was thinking, like when you were talking about actually playing the game or like ways to get cards off people, could it be like there are multiple ways that you can acquire cards? So it's like maybe
Yeah, I mean,
you can play for some, but you can also buy some in card boot sales. You can buy some fresh, depending on how you want to acquire your collection.
Just do trades. So there could be
Yeah.
a whole trade mechanic of like.
well, that's the thing. I feel like every card would have a value attached to them. Whether we simplify it with, I don't know, it's got 3 pips, and you need 5 pips to get this this card that he's offering, and you just have to put more energy into it or whatever to get this card. Or we just say that card's worth $20. You've got 4 times slash fit or whatever I called it, and they're worth 5. So you can just put those in and you trade it. That's great. And I will be honest, my first fear when I was writing this down is that someone was just going to say, wasn't this just a mini game in The Witcher? And kind of, yes.
What, Gwent?
Gwent, yeah. I mean,
Oh yeah,
yes,
but there's so
Gwent
much more.
is
And also,
basically that.
They made Gwent into a full game.
Did you just say there was so much more to that? Tom, your idea is less than a mini game in another game.
It's not
no,
less.
No, there's so much more than in Tom's idea.
Yeah.
Oh,
Like,
right. Okay.
having
I
the
thought you were other way
overworlds, I think, and all these story based, like I think, like in my head, what I want to see is like I want to see it linked to, like you're talking about stuff that happened when you were a kid and Gary and stuff. I
Yeah.
want there to be like
Childhood
super
trauma.
rare cards that you have to try and collect. In my head, like so, this is me. Like your character is an adult. They've gotten married. They've been through the mill of life, and they find an old collection of cards in their shed, and they're like, I'm going to get back into this. And so you start collecting. The game's still popular, and then there are some super rare cards that you're trying to get. And when you find them, you pull it out of the pack and you look at it, and your character starts staring at it, and then you start hearing the flashback noise from Lost. And then you go into your childhood where you play like some kind of, I don't know, like maybe it's a time when you had when you lost that card or when you played for that card, like and you actually played the game.
Yeah,
you played the card
exactly.
game itself. Something like that.
Okay, yeah.
I think.
A nice narrative to go along
Yeah,
with
yeah.
it.
Yeah, even just seeing like, I don't know, a shot of the kid watching the show, and then he's just like, oh man, Butterfree is my favorite Pokemon.
No
Well,
one
you
has
wouldn't
ever
say
said
that.
that.
I have. Butterfree was legit my favorite for a very long time. And yeah, you've got these nice moments, and then after the game pauses for like 10 seconds, it just fades to black for 10 whole minutes just to give you some time to weep.
Yeah. Cry. You have to have a crying grace period.
Yeah, I think every game needs a cry break.
Not just during the development, but during the playtime, right?
No,
During
that,
the playtime,
that comes
yeah.
as standard. You factor that in your budget.
Yeah. Anytime a game has like a nostalgic story moment, I often miss the next like 3 scenes because I am just wailing.
weeping.
Yeah. And I think that's just a staple that should be involved in every story game.
So this card game definitely needs to be playable. We're agreed on that.
Yeah.
I think
Is
so.
it? Does it? Does it?
I think it does.
100%.
Because I think
I remember not my stolen ones; they were too dear to me. When I would bet Yu-Gi-Oh cards, we would play for like win, right? So you bet a card up, and you're like, okay, whoever wins gets this card. Well, you offer a card up of equal value, or what you perceive equal value, and I think it adds a, sense of the thrill,
And I think the game should be as broken as Yu-Gi-Oh as well. So, we've got stupid cards where it's like, and now this card, I play my trap card, and
You've
that allows me
activated
to
my flash nip.
to play my flash nip, which lets me replay another flash nip.
It's
Are we
either
now
that
going to design
or-
that card game?
Well, that's the thing. It's
Let's do it right now.
either it is a playable game or the game itself is total garbage, like Pokemon. Like no one really plays
I
that
don't
game.
know how to play. I
Granted,
never played
there
it.
are World Series of the Pokemon trading card game, but it's not good. It's not a good game.
Jesus, Tom.
I don't really know why people collected the cards beyond the fact that it was Pokemon. I never played it. I just collected it because I like Pokemon.
I had the cards, never played it.
Yeah, that Pokemon card players, Tom's dunking on you.
I never played Pokemon like physically, but I had the Pokemon trading card game where I played the Pokemon trading card game.
The
Right.
digital version of the
Yeah.
card game from the anime. Yeah.
But I never actually physically played Pokemon. So
Wait,
maybe.
what Pokemon are you talking about now? The trading card game, the anime, or the actual game on the Game Boy?
I never played the physical trading card game, but I played the game version of the trading card game, Pokemon trading card game for Game Boy Color.
Right. Okay.
My nose is bleeding.
So
You're
you
right.
actually have that somewhere.
So, okay, what if the structure of it was like the two things that it made me think of were there's Cardboard Kings, and the other one was when you said story based in card games. The two things I'm going to think of is Inscription, especially because I played that recently,
Okay.
and I just thought it was fantastic, like everyone did, I guess. But maybe like your character, you're trying to recall this card game, like maybe to begin with, it just about is collecting a couple of cards. So you're like, I want to find out more about these cards. I'll go to the world map. There's a card boot sale on. I'll go and pick up some more. And basically you do these kind of trading and purchasing bits until you finally have your first game. Or maybe you're learning the game as you go. You're learning the rules of the game as you go, to the point where you actually start playing proper games to then win cards from people.
Yeah, that's the thing. When I was saying that, I think the game itself is so dated that everyone if you do play the game against them to try and win their cards or whatever else, they don't really remember the rules themselves. So everyone has their own house rules, and then there's no real version of the game that is correct.
That's great. That's like Triple Triad.
Like Monopoly.
Yeah,
Right.
like Monopoly. Or anytime anyone says, do you want to play Pokemon, and no one knows the rules. So they're just like, I guess we could just put these cards in front of us and see what happens.
Top trumps.
So maybe it's like that.
What's the end game? Is there an end game? Are you just kind of like
Death.
pootling around this world map?
You get Mew3.
You get Mew3. Even though
Yeah,
it's,
you-
it's
then
and you
not real.
discover that it's a
Your
fake.
consciousness transfers to a higher plane.
Yeah. Like once you've got every card in this deck, you get contacted by the creators of the game, and they elevate you to positions beyond your mortal beliefs.
You become God.
Yeah, you become God.
I am become God. Collector of cards.
Yeah.
Wow.
I don't know. Maybe there's something there. I don't know. Another game I was thinking of when I was talking about like following stories of particular cards. Like if you hear there's someone coming through town, he's got the legendary Gajimbo.
He's my favorite. What type is he? Sorry, I forgot.
Gajimbo. He was Earth Latin.
I always found that weird that card game had Latin as a type.
there's the elements, but then there's the dual typing is what language they speak. Maybe you make a choice of like, do I follow this thread or do I not waste a load of time on this and miss out on other opportunities? Maybe there's some time-based stuff you can do, or maybe if it's just like a Pokemon style game where it is achievable to get just every Pokemon if you stay in this area. Oh, this town is full of these cards. And the next town, they've got these cards, and you just have to grind it out a bit to catch them all.
house in these different towns?
You're traveling.
You're sleeping rough.
Yeah, I really like. I don't know. I'm genuinely warming to the idea of like I'm becoming quite attached to the idea of this character who is just like in a midlife crisis and trying to get back some part of their youth by playing a card game.
I think it's also like anytime we hear a story about like this one Pokemon card that sold for thousands of pounds, like the collector's Mew from when the first Pokemon game came out.
Yeah.
I'm like 100% sure I had that card.
I have that.
I've got
The holographic one with the glyphs on it.
Yeah,
Yeah, I've got
apparently
that.
that's worth quite
Chris,
a
that's
bit.
worth
or at
£3
least
million.
It's not. I don't think it's worth
there's
anything.
there was a high grade version of it. I think it was like the perfect grade version of this card, and it's like the only one in existence or whatever, and it was worth quite a lot of money. Or even like fucking what's that prick's name?
Logan Paul.
Logan Paul, who's got like his
Exactly.
yeah
The 7 million
it's
card
like
or whatever.
$7 million card or whatever.
Yeah.
It's like this trainer card that was only like 10 in existence.
Oh,
And
that
his
was
just
it,
happens
yeah.
to be grade 10. I think anytime we hear a story like that, we're just like thinking, like, what if? Because
What if?
everyone has like a deck of Pokemon cards. What if one of them in there is somehow amazing quality and worth thousands of pounds? And this guy who you're playing as, he just has like, I don't know, 10, 15 in his shed, and he just happens to have this one. He's like, wow, fuck, okay. Maybe I can actually do something with this.
But even as a kid, you're told like myths of like how much that card. I used to have the really fat Pikachu, but it was a Japanese print. And everyone's like, "That's really rare." I'm like, "It's probably not. It's probably worth like a tenner." But this was like when you were on the school playground, and they're like, "I'll give you all of my deck for that card." And I'm like, "No, I like
No,
fat Pikachu.
you didn't do
Fat
it.
Pikachu's
Oh.
great." No, because he's really fat.
Pikachu.
yeah, he was.
He's really
I remember,
funny.
yeah.
This is the thing
Someone's
that
been to Weight Watchers.
this is what excites me about this game is like coming up with all the stupid lore behind these cards, like coming up with reasons why a card is popular or sought after. You know, it's like, oh, this one brushed past Queen Elizabeth II and is now worth
That will increase the value of a card.
Exactly. It's like, wow, it's been around forever. This card is carved on a stone tablet.
This one survived the Great Fire of London. Wow. This was the card that Jesus was holding when he was crucified.
Exactly. All those kind of playground stories, which are quite funny, you know.
Oh, yeah,
people
yeah, I
coming
had
up
those
with, like,
stories
all that
too.
crazy shit. That's like, oh yeah, you didn't hear about the Yama card? It's actually printed on solid gold. Holy shit! You know,
I think that's
and then
is that
having
a
it
water
turn out to be
Arabic type.
That's it, yeah. But then have it turn out to be true would be really funny. Like
Oh, yeah.
in your adult life, you find that the stories are true, and
And also in this, I think it would be a good thing to have variations of these cards as well. Like, yeah, you've got a level 1, what was it? Flash Nip.
Flash Nip,
But then you find variations of the Flash Nip. It's like shinies in actual Pokemon. Like
Trash
the chance
Nip.
of seeing one of these is
What type
super
is-
slim.
What type slash it?
I don't want to say. And yeah, maybe you can get like a Japanese print of it or a misprint version, which is ultra rare. And
Flash Knob.
it's just a game of collecting.
Flash
I mean,
Knob.
collecting an entire Pokedex of these things. But
Can
at risk of, okay, I'm going to say something risky.
Was he going to derail it?
Lost Ark, right, is
Okay.
full of collectibles. There are, millions and millions of things you can collect across this goddamn game, and I don't even know why do I still play it. It's not good. It's not fun. But there are thousands and thousands of collectibles, and in there you can collect cards. And they have this entire catalog of cards of all these characters from across the game, like Booby Pirate and Booby Priest, and all these other ones, because that's basically all there is in this game. And they also compress them down into not just the entire collection of cards, but books of cards as well. So when you collect all of like the Earth Elementals, you get a little bonus. When you collect all of the priests of this land, you get this bonus and stuff like that. And I think that would be cool to compress it down into smaller milestones as well, because Pokemon is just collect them all right from the very start. And it's a little bit of a daunting task.
you could do it by type, right?
Yeah, I think compressing it down into smaller milestones, so it's just consistently rewarding you for these little things, or even giving you little goals where you're like, I know I need to find just one card in this 6-card set, and I'll have completed that set, and it's good.
You could do it like Arceus does it, where you've got like find 6 of these kind of things, and then we could reward you for that in a different way.
Yeah.
Or, you have to find 4 common versions, but if you find, then you can find 1 rare, and you have to do something or other.
Is it always about
Great.
I'll be back with more gems in a minute.
Thanks.
Is it
Thanks, Chris.
always about collecting the set, or is it just about going after Mew3? Is it about getting the most valued cards possible?
Well, the thing that I was thinking about to do with that is like, yeah, could it be? Because I think what games like Cardboard Kings do really well is they bring out that feeling of that excitement that everyone gets, even if you don't know anything about cards or a card game. When you're opening a pack and you're like, oh fuck, what if I'm about to put out a mega rare? Everyone has like a tiny little thing in the back of their head that gets excited about that. But like if there's so you have that, but then also if there's a way to connect it narratively as well. So like maybe if it's that you are trying to. The end game for you is you're trying to recreate the deck that you had when you were a kid, which and these cards could be, it could be full of like what are now considered some of the rarest and most powerful cards in the game. So mechanically you could make that work. But then, so you have like when you're opening new packs or when you're meeting new people and looking at their decks and talking about trades and things, you have that element of like, oh, I might find a rare card when I look through this deck. But also I might find the thing that I've been, the next milestone for the thing that I'm looking for. I might find my Mew3 or my Floshnop.
Oh, Floshnop. That was Grass Greek, if I remember correctly.
And that could be like the end goal if you're trying to recreate this deck that you had when you were a kid.
You've put us on this path.
Yeah, that was a bad idea.
I really like that idea because the other idea I was thinking of is that your house is about to be repossessed and you remember that you had the rare Mew3 and then you are turning the shed upside down and your mum has given it away, or like as a child, it's like the cards were discarded and now it's a mad dash to try and find your cards in the world. But that's a much more bleak story. I was going to say. I just like the nostalgia effect, and let's go.
Your wife is leaving you. She's like, Gary, get a job. You're like, no, I'm going to find the cards.
Yeah.
I'm going to save us.
You've got 20 days before the loan shark comes and breaks your legs, so you've got to find.
That's only like 3 boot sales, and that does add a good. It adds the calendar element to it.
We've taken your wife and kids.
Yeah.
Bring Flash Nip to us at 6 a.m.
We need Mew3 by April 3rd.
Not all games need a threat. It's just nice.
You introduced the threat.
I know, but what else is the game? What
I think like trying to
nice.
Like, but that's it. Like you're trying to rediscover like that, just that deck again. You're trying to, and like maybe there could be another story around it, but like. I feel like in my head, it's like this character who is like in their evenings and weekends, they sit down in front of their computer. You've got the equivalent of Google Maps open or whatever, and you see like all these different events that I can go to, the people that I can meet. I'm going to plan my week out or whatever, and then you go and you communicate in your little office, and then you go and do the things on your Sundays or your days off work or whatever. But the idea is you're basically just like going around town, expanding your network of like gamers, card players, or whatever they're called, and just trying to find your perfect deck. And maybe you need that deck in order to like beat Gary, who's got the Mew3 card. If you beat him, then you get the Mew3 card. Is that the end? I don't know.
Your old childhood rival, and you just beat him in a battle at the end of the game would be great. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, it's such a good driving force. If only Pokemon had did that.
so like, okay, so you'd have like an eBay equivalent as like, you, at home you can do the basic thing of like, I could just go online and see what people are listing in terms of cards and what's out there.
That is maybe very Cardboard Kings.
Okay,
as in like you have an overlay where there are a couple of different shops, and you'll just click on different shops depending on what kind of cards you want. And then you go through those, but that's as far as it goes. Like, I think what would be good is like, is there other ways that we can expand that? So it's not just purchasing cards that are, is there like more of other ways that you can gain cards by going around town and different events that you can go to?
I am a little worried about just someone playing not even playing the game, but the game just being like, I've got I got this card. I can sell for 100 smackaroos. I can get 10 card packs from that. Great. And I'm just going to open these 10 card packs and now, cool. I got another rare. I can sell that for 50. I'll sell that one. I got another 5 card packs. Cool.
Do you have an income in this? Like, are you working?
Maybe you've just lost your job.
Are you retired?
No. Well, I feel like it's, you're working and this is what you're doing in your evenings and weekends.
So do you,
this is your passion.
Every month rolls around and you have extra money to spend?
Maybe.
I don't know if this game should have a currency. That's the thing. It kind of...
Do you think that ends up just confusing it too much? Just making it too like you say, just too bland. Like you're just buying and selling, and that's all it boils down to.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I know. I did say you can watch the prices rise and lower as time goes on, or events happen, or whatever else. But I think if it just turns into, like I was saying, you buy a card and that's it. Yeah, I've got that card. Yeah. Cool. Or you see a card on CBay, which stands for Card Bay, and it's got. And it's like, oh, I need this card. It's $200. I'm just going to grind until I get $200, and then I've got the card, and there's no real reward for it. I don't know. It sounds like something we need to figure out how to get around, but that's not my job.
the one thing that came to mind is that if this is like an old game, maybe it has fallen out of popularity, so they're very, very rare. So it's not the case of you can just go to a shop and buy a pack. They're all out of print. Everything's out of print. Nothing's available. The only way to get it is to trade with amongst other players of the game and try and find the cards at things like car boots or at charity shops, or maybe conventions come up. Maybe a listing does come up on eBay every now and then, but there's inherently no value to anything apart from just you and the other players of the game. So the most expensive card is like £1. Or something. It's like,
whatever it is, you could afford it because no one else gives a shit.
Yeah,
but it's important. It's important to you and everyone else who plays. I really like that because I feel like that's a good way for you to find like other characters who are like super invested into it. And there's something kind of funny and like charming about someone really caring about something that no one else gives a shit.
And as a player playing this game, I mean, you're also going to be super invested in this because, I mean, you're playing the game. So anytime any NPC is just like, what the fuck are you talking? That show ended 25 years ago.
Yeah.
You're still into that? You fucking loser.
You find a card at a car boot and you're like, oh, how much for this? And they're like, I'll just take it. It's worthless. And you're like, yes, I got the...
You stupid bitch.
There's like this small network of people that are still playing it, and you're discovering more of the network as you play other people and meet other people and go to these car boot sales and whatever, and expanding that story.
Also, I've got no idea how to make a story that will keep you interested in this niche collection that you're building throughout the game. But I just love the idea of this groundbreaking discovery for this 25-year-old card game of like this Mew3, this legendary card no one knew existed, and somehow it's your rival that's got it, and you just have to find the truth behind it. And if it turns out to be a fake, or if it turns out to be real, or whatever, so be it. I just like that as like something that completely shakes up this fictitious game that we are making in this universe, and suddenly loads of people get involved with it, or suddenly it just brings a load of people back into it, or makes it like the talk of the town. I don't know.
I can get $90 for my Chubby Pikachu card.
90?
90.
See, that's not bad.
I know.
And how many of those do you have? Just one?
Just one.
Oh. How much can you get for a Tangela?
Stolen? I'll have to make sure it's on the black market because the police will still be looking.
Don't search for stolen ones. I just want to figure out how much do I owe this kid.
That's true. You could be in serious trouble.
Yeah. I did remember another Pokemon-related crime. Turns out I've committed quite a few Pokemon-related crimes. It's not really a crime as much as...
felony.
There was someone who hadn't done their homework for that day at school, and I said, I've already done it, it's fine, I know all the answers. And he was like, cool, if you can just take this worksheet, fill it in for me, I'll give you this shiny Pokemon card.
Yeah.
I was like, hell yeah, I'll do it.
You could get
I wrote-
$40.
$40?
Up to. That's the highest
Okay.
it's ever sold. The lowest is $1.75. And the average is
right.
$4.92, Tom. So you don't owe them a lot.
Okay. Well, I mean, yeah.
Right,
So
what
this
happened with
this
this
kid
one?
that I filled in the homework for, he gave me the card. However, what he doesn't know is I put all the wrong answers in there.
Oh.
And he was
God,
later
you are just
expelled.
a fucking grade A
Yeah,
jet.
he got expelled and then he was going to sell that Pokemon card to buy his family food.
Well,
Now he's dead.
Yeah. But
What card was it?
I can't remember what card that
No.
was.
But you vividly remember because of the thrill and rush of stealing a Tangela.
Yeah. I
could just lie to him.
Off the back of stealing a Tangela, I then faked a pseudo-widow and stole this other shiny off this other kid. What a tirade.
You're an absolute bandit.
Look, I'm 3 cards up.
He's the Tangela bandit. They knew. He was known.
I'm just saying. I don't want to put the message out there that crime pays.
It doesn't.
But-
It's $4.95.
Well, I mean, I had 3 more cards in my collection than if I was a good boy.
That's true.
Like, that's a good point.
So, I mean,
Look, I
There you
feel
go.
like we
moral
could
of the
probably
story.
discuss this for much longer, but we're running out of time. Where are we so far, Tom? What is this now to you?
It is a card collection game, not quite a deck builder, so I can get around that stipulation right now. It's not a deck builder. It's just a Pokemon like where you are immersing yourself in the community of card collectors as you try to complete the set and gather all the cards in the collection, from rare to misprints and from fakes to legendary unreleased cards no one has ever heard of before. And throughout it all, you uncover the experience and thrills of this childlike wonder of collecting your favorite Snorklemon. There you go. They're called Snorklemons now.
Wow. Okay.
I really love the idea of it, like narrative card games, narrative. Like, I feel like that is something that is almost untapped. Like in script games like Inscription have started to really pave the way for it.
Da-da-da-da-da. Do you want to hear my spin that I put on the end that we don't need to talk about because it's garbage?
Yeah.
Magical world? The cards hold power, evolving as you gather multiples of the same one. Actually summon monsters? I don't know, lol.
You've just created.
Yeah, I realize I mean Pokemon. So there you go.
Yeah.
Snorklemon, Legend of the Mew3.
Snorklemon, Legend of the Mew3.
Is 3 spelt in English, or is it just the number 3?
It's the number 3. Mew,
Right, okay.
number 3.
Perfect.
But the E is a 3.
I think it's fun. Halfway through, I will say, I think Tom saw me laughing because I genuinely thought something that I found hilarious. But I think Alex might like it because of the narrative that you could tell. Is when we're talking about repossessing, is a reverse unpacking where you repossess people's items, but constantly are bombarded with pleas of the family.
Next year's BAFTA win.
That's next week's PP. Is that we make repossessing.
Yeah, maybe we should just start doing that. We should just pick a game and then just see what the polar opposite is.
Inverse it.
Yeah,
I like that.
like Animal Crossing, I guess. Human Crossing, Rising Damp.
Yeah, our most successful episode.
We've done that before.
Our most favourite episodes.
Yeah, it did go out.
Poor listener.
James?
What? Yeah, it's great. I do. I like the idea that everyone hates the game isn't popular anymore. It's just a nothing game. It has an excuse for the art to kind of be terrible in that way, which could be quite funny. As like, because the Pokemon art and like Magic the Gathering, they've all got like amazing art, and then for us, we could just have like. I mean, we were talking about pixel art earlier. It could just be like the most basic shit, which would be quite funny, I think. And yeah, just I like the narrative of like, maybe you have flashbacks to when you're a kid to a nice way to teach you how to play the game. Maybe there's an online element as well where you can actually have like do real life trades as well with people and their cards.
Yeah.
But,
Wonder trades.
It's it's nostalgia cards. Nice.
Now, what if this was a world in which this is a relatively new game that has swept the nation and everybody is playing this game? in that there is no monetary value for your quests and your rewards because the quest rewards are card packs. And that is sufficient enough because this game is bigger than money.
I feel like that takes away from like the nostalgic element of it, though, which sounds like that's the good story stuff, though. That's what I like. That's what I think makes it unique because everyone, like, you know, has played those kind of games where you're playing the most popular, you know, like a super popular kind of card game, or that's what Pokemon is, right? But
yeah,
I think what's cool about this is that it is like tapping into that, like that idea of something that you loved as a kid that is now shit and no one cares about. But you get that, like, oh fuck, do you remember the fucking silver pogs that you weren't allowed? They banned from school, like those kind of, you know, that kind of thing. I think that's
Beyblade. Did you ever have Tazos? We had a big fat.
Oh my god!
Tazos,
yeah, they were like shit pogs, weren't they?
The really shit pogs that fit together, and they had like I think Looney Tunes characters on them.
Yeah, I remember.
You get them in packets of crisps.
Do you remember? What were they called? Were they called like Hungry Bones or?
No, Go-Go's, Mega Bones. Yeah,
Mega
they were like
Bones?
little
saying things.
Tiny plastic creatures. And it was
the game
basically
was
like marbles.
The game was to line up all these plastic things in like a formation on either side and flick them towards the other side to knock them over. Yeah. It was brutal. These are hard plastic figures you have to flick quite a distance. It hurts
Let's
so
incorporate
much.
that into the game.
I collected a lot of those.
Just flick your screen.
The flick command.
Make it for Nintendo DS.
I'm using flick controls.
Whether it's cards or whether it's flicking or whether it's nostalgic element or maybe it's a brand new game. I don't know. Like, we'll see. What do you think? You can let us know. You can let us know what you think of this game and what you would do to make it your kind of game that you would play. Where can they let us know, Tom?
They can let us know at which is Pitch Please Pod without any vowels on Twitter. Or
it is.
Reviews on iTunes, or maybe in the comments on YouTube.
I would also like to hear people's Snorklemon creations with their types as well.
Please.
And then remember, it's an element and a language.
Language. Yeah, that's very important.
Also, it would be great if people would confess to their Pokemon-related crimes as well.
Pokemon crimes.
And before we go, Chris,
hi.
If you had to kill a man for a Pokemon card, what Pokemon card would it be?
Oh, just probably like a super rare Blastoise.
There you go. You can hire Chris to kill a man for just a super rare Blastoise.
Yeah. I'm sitting on the gold mine that is the Jackie Chan Adventures Collector's tin with all the talismans. I'm rich.
You just put a target on your head.
Yeah.
Incredible.
I'm not here next episode. You know why.
All right. Well, look, thank you everyone for listening. Thank you for spending this last 40 minutes with us, however the fuck long it's been. It's been longer than that, probably. Oh my God.
It depends how much it cuts down.
Depends how much I cut. Depends whether I decide to cut out the crimes. Thanks for spending the
last 15 minutes with us.
Right, we'll see you next time. Thank you. Goodbye. Bye.
See ya.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
I never did anything for a card when I was a kid, but I did.
The way you said that. I sucked off a man for a Pikachu. And now I'm going to stop recording.
Perfect.